All this Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Falken Tyres and their associate sponsors. A big welcome to the Mother City in the penultimate round of the Falken Polo Cup, and as you can see on the track, absolutely pandemonium with all the fans coming on to meet their favorite drivers from Falken Polo Cup. It's such a nice initiative, but the real stuff has to happen today. There are 3 races, and there's still only a couple of points between Jeff Kruger and Brad Liebenberg. Liebenberg leads out, but Kruger, after East London, has closed things down rapidly. So in qualifying, there is 1 point up for grabs. Let's go and find out who's going to get that 1 point and just maybe have the advantage heading into race 1 today here at the Extreme Festival and Falken Polo Cup. In Cape Town, using your teammate is definitely a big advantage, particularly with the back straight and some slipstream effect. Let's see if that's going to be the case now in qualifying. A couple of teams are going to try and work together here to use that slipstream effect and get that additional bit of pace that they require. They go through there. Steon Creel has been good all weekend. Is it going to be good enough? Looks like the Oates boys are also pushing hard. They're working nicely together. Looks like Rice Asmal hasn't really got up there and tried to help out his teammate Mahotsi, but there's been a bit of a change up there in the 2 cars. And after qualifying, it is the top 6 that now go into the Super Pole. Led out by Yuri Swart, Brad Liebenberg looking to maintain the lead of this championship. But Dario Busi and Yuri Swart, local contenders here, definitely going to have a little advantage over the rest of the pack. Matt Shorter had a good qualifying. He's up into the top 6, so did Jeff Kruger. Is Kruger going to be quick enough as they come across the line? The flag is out. Yuri Swart was the first man across the line, but he wasn't quickest. That went to Jeff Kruger. Jeff Kruger, an incredible start to the day so far, but what a great start to the weekend. Yesterday, 3 practices out of 3, top of the list. It's going to be a huge battle.
Yeah, like you say, Greg, it's a good start to the weekend. We managed to get the pole now in Super Pole. Unfortunate about the main quali where Brad pipped us and got the extra points. So that's actually what we were fighting for. But yeah, he did a good lap, so credit to him. And yeah, like you said, behind it's just absolutely incredibly close. I mean, it's good for the formula. And luckily I'm starting on the front row for race 1 and I think for race 3, so that's at least good. So yeah, now the championship is all to play for now. This weekend's going to definitely make a big impact. So 3 races coming up is going to be tough, but yeah, let's see what we can do.
Before we go racing, we got to meet some of the crowd, and the crowd got to get up close and personal with their favourite drivers. This is all part and parcel of how Killarney does their Extreme Festival. Lots of outside entertainment for the crowds, particularly on that little short straight at KFM. You can see the crowds were loving getting the autographs of their favourite drivers and getting up close and personal and seeing Jeff Kruger get the Super Pole Award. 2,500 rand is not a bad way to start the weekend. Hopefully you can keep it all together. Dhruv doing the lucky draw now for ATS. Who's going to get it? It's his teammate, Rice Asmal. That's not a bad way to go as well. 3,000 rand from ATS. Dhruv, a bit of a baptism of fire for you to come down to Cape Town, not only because of the heat, I mean, you'll be used to that coming from India, but more importantly is how close is it? 2.6 seconds splitting the entire Polo Cup field.
It's insane. I qualified 22nd and I was disheartened when I saw the position, but when I came out, it was only 1.8 seconds off the pole. So it's crazy how close it is. We have around 19 to 20 cars back in India as well, but the competition that goes throughout the grid it's a completely different experience.
Speaking of the grid, let's have a look how they qualified now. Jeff Kruger's on pole position. Remember, he took the Super Pole, but he's followed very closely by his closest championship rival, Brad Liebenberg. Shorter and Swart, the top 4. Oates, Dario Busi, then Chris Shorter and Arnie Neverland. Behind them, it's Jonathan Mahotsi, Darren Oates, Keegan Campos, and Jason Kutsia. Campos a bit further down than what he'd like. Jona van der Vestes and Clint Besaidon and Steon Creel, and Jason Campos also battling a bit with Tasman Pepper on his tail. Delon Thompson, Elton Bow, and Damien Hammond. Nathan Hammond, Simon Need, Dhruv Mohiti, and Rice Asmal. And finally, Bob Neal and Rainer van Heerden. Come to the line now for race number 1, and it's all to do now for Brad Liebenberg. He has to take 3 victories yet today if he wants to wrap up the championship. There's a little outside chance for Jeff Kruger still to do something about that. And Matt Shorter is definitely going to be a little spanner in the works there for these guys. As they head down towards turn number 1, good start there coming out of Oates. He pulls right onto the bumper there of the Munro car heading towards turn 1. And then you've got Dario Busi starting to apply the pressure. Rainer van Heerden's on the grass on the background, but it's Jeff Kruger on the inside using that pole position to his advantage into KFM. And will he be able to keep out the Hello Mobile car? Yes, he will. Slots into first place, and it's Brad Liebenberg followed by Yuri Swart. Yuri Swart got Matt Shorter on his tail, and look at where Oates is, on the grass again. Getting it out of shape there. Darren Oates trying to find a way through, and he comes to tag. Oh, there's a big maneuver there. A couple of cars coming together. It looks like there might have been a big incident there. Delon Thompson, I think, got hit from behind, then went sideways and hit the inside car, which I think was Darren Oates. But some big problems there between Delon Thompson and Oates as they went into turn 2. They come flying out of turn 3 now. Jason Campos starting to make his way through onto the back end of his brother. But at the front end, the top two getting away as they go through the jag sweep. It's Matt Shorter, followed very closely there by Swart. And as they come past there, Jona van der Veste is one of the best starts we've seen out of him. He's tucked in behind. Let's have a look at this now. Going down into turn 1. There's the tap. Darren Oates just nowhere to go, getting a sideways little slam in there. And I think that came from Jason Kutsia, the new man to the series. Here's DeLon Thompson's point of view. Oh, it's Clinton Mercedes, actually. Clinton Mercedes, the protagonist there, climbs onto the back end of Jason Kutsia. Kutsia goes onto the inside and slams into Oates. And unfortunately, nowhere to go for DeLon Thompson. He goes slamming into the side of Clinton Mercedes. Back to race proper now, and here comes Mercedes back on track. Wow, just in front of the big steam train coming through there. He'll have to hold that inside line and actually stays on the grass. As they come across the line, what a way to go. Yeah, that Marshall's taking his life into his hands with his feet over the wall there, but needless to say, the racing comes through there probably at 200 k's an hour. If one of those wing mirrors or one of the cars clips those feet, he's going to be in big trouble. Speaking of big trouble, Dario Busi applying massive pressure onto the front end now and trying to find a way through there on his teammate, on Oates, and on the Monroe car of Shorter. The battles for third place here, 1 and 2 getting away. Look at this battle starting to heat up. Chris Shorter now with a bit of pressure from Keegan Campos around the outside. On his inside, he's got Machotsi. Oh, Campos gets forced wide. Campos making a big mistake there and running wide ever so slightly. Now climbs in behind Machotsi. He's lost out 3 positions there, did Campos. And you can see Arnie Neveling now on the back end of Dario Busi. This is Neveling's point of view, looking straight back into Chris Shorter, the AE and Signature Motorsport machine, right on his bumper. You can see that's Machotsi, then Campos. Matt Shorter and Swart getting away now from Justin Oates. Oh, and once again, Keegan running wide out of turn 3, opening up the door. Jona van der Veste in there. What an opportunity for him. There you see, that's a push to pass from the Hello Mobile car getting through on Jeff Kruger. There's going to be a bit of a gamble and a bit of chess game between these two. They've only got 4 push-to-pass mechanisms available to them. And remember, the top 3 in the championship have only got 3 to play with. So, who's got 1 left, who hasn't, is what both Liebenberg and Kruger are going to be asking themselves throughout this race. Matt Shorter hanging on to the 3rd place at this point. There's the return of the favour. Another push to pass there from Jeff Kruger, trying to come back at Brad Liebenberg as they cross the line. And as they get across that start-finish line, looks like he might have overtaken Brad down into turn 1. Into KFM corner, he's got it. He's got back up ahead and into the lead. And the rest of the pack start to sort things out. Oates on the inside of Shorter. Justin Oates finding a little bit of maneuver to get through there on Shorter, and Machotsi tries to go with him. Shorter trying to shut the door there, has to get across though, and he just manages to keep Machotsi out. Now down into turn 2, G Energy corner. The G Energy car here of Swart closing on the back end of Shorter, but hasn't found a way through. Dario Busi dives through his stablemate and finds a way past, forcing Oates wide, opening up the door for Shorter and Machotsi. Further back. Oh, here we go. Here comes trouble. Dhruv in the thick of it. Our international exchange driver fighting hard there with Hammond and forcing the Hot Wheels car of Reino van Heerden out of shape. Speaking of out of shape, Stian Kriel completely out of shape and very lucky to survive a maneuver on the outside of Malmesbury. You can see him looking left, right in the wing mirrors, trying to avoid the attack from both the Campos boys. And ahead of him is Arnie Neveling. Arnie tucks in, Campos goes wide, tries to get on the inside line now into Cape Town corner. And into Fostron, you can see the top 2 now. Oh, there's a push to pass from Brad. Exactly what Jeff Kruger did to him on the final lap, on that last lap, I should say, as they come across the line, is exactly what Jeff Kruger has now experienced for himself. That's what push to pass can give you. I wonder how many he's got left. Hopefully he's got a couple more to play with. Late braking from Brad Liebenberg has opened up 2 car lengths now on Jeff Kruger in the Universal Healthcare car. And you can see just how hard this championship battle is going to be fought. There are 3 races on the day. This is only one of them. Stian Kriel out of shape. Wow, very lucky again. Kriel's got a problem with that car. He's got it out of shape out of Malmesbury. He's very lucky to survive that one. He's even more lucky to survive this as we watch on board. Catching it. Fortunately, being from Cape Town originally, he knows there's a little bit of runoff there. And he was able to get the car back on track. So the Motormart car back into the thick of it. Checkered flag time now for these 2, and I don't think Jeff Kruger's got 1 push to pass left. He's used them all up, so has Brad as they go across the line. Matt Shorter all on his own sim there in 3rd place. Very plain sailing there for Matt. And a long way ahead of the battle that raged behind there between Yuri Swart, Justin Oates and Dario Busi. But to the line, it's Hello Mobile to take race 1 of 3 here today. And Liebenberg at the front end ahead of Jeff Kruger. Shorter comes through for 3rd. Good drive there from Yuri Swart in 4th place in the G Energy car there. Justin Oates in the Total car finishes up in 5th place, beating out Dario Busi, Yuri Swart's stablemate. Chris Shorter in the Signature Motorsport team comes through for 7th and beats out Machotsi. A good drive from him in 8th. Nice turnaround in race number 1 and also fastest lap, which puts you on pole for race 2. That's important.
Yeah, obviously getting fastest lap in race 1 as well gave me another bonus point, and the 4 that I got on him for finishing first and him second. But I managed to come out on top, very happy with it, and yeah, like you said, starting P1 in race 2, I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get away again and come out with another win.
Big drama into turn 2 there with race number 1, and you can see one of these cars behind me, Clinton Besaidnout's car, was one of the protagonists in that action. And of course it then just split the field up. But at the front end it was all about Jeff Kruger and Brad Liebenberg getting away. Matt Shorter was all on his own in 3rd place and pretty much had a lone race there. Behind him was the big pack of cars fighting for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, right up to 14th place. Just shows you how tight the field is. We saw it in qualifying, we've seen it in race 1, we've still got 2 to go. We'll see you after the break for race 2. Welcome back to action from the Falken Polo Cup. Highly unlikely that this tie is going to come out at all today, although there was rain predicted for the weekend. It looks like it's going to be slicks all the way, and tyre preservation is going to be vital, particularly with almost 30 degrees Celsius ambient temperature, which means probably about 50 or 55 degrees Celsius track temperatures. These guys and girls out there that are racing Polo Cup are going to have their wits about them and make sure they preserve their tyres so they can get through all 3 races. Let's go and find out now what happens in race number 2. Lining up now for race number 2. Let's see what's going to happen, because there's always big incidents when there's a 3-race format. Sion Kriel's already had 2 big ones of himself there in race number 1. Hopefully he can keep it all together and on the black stuff. And Mahotsi looking to improve. He's already found some good pace here. And they changed up the 2 cars between himself and Rice Icemel. Now looking for race number 2. And off the line goes Brad Liebenberg, off pole position. Jeff Kruger alongside him. This is Justin Oates trying to outgun Matt Shorter into turn 1. Shorter's got the inside line into KFM and hangs on. On his inside is Yuri Swart going through, following Matt Shorter. Around the outside comes Jason Kutsia and Jason Campos side by side. Hammond gets out of shape and just comes together with Rice Icemel. The 2 of them very lucky to survive. No one else tagging them through turn 1 KFM corner. Into turn 2 now they come, and around the outside comes Jonna van der Westhuizen. And what a start there from another local man in the 2nd of the Universal Healthcare cars. He's right up there, in fact, right on the tailpiece, and in fact, putting a meat in the sandwich between Dario Busi and Yuri Swart. He has to just lose out ever so slightly there, and Shorter's on his tail. And then you've got a fantastic start this time from Elton Bow. Elton Bow looking to get into the top 10 this time if he can, but it's not going to be an easy day for him. Look at the pressure coming from Jason Campos, from Keegan Campos, and from the back end there of DeLon Thompson. How's this shot? Front and back view from Matt Shorter overtaking Jeff Kruger. Kruger down to 3rd place, Shorter into 2nd. Oh, that's a good move there from Matt Shorter. Down the gearbox into Fostron corner, and the pressure now coming from Justin Oates on Jeff Kruger. Justin Oates in the Total Racing Machine looking for a way past on Jeff Kruger. Kruger has to get back ahead of Matt Shorter if he wants to keep this championship in his grasp. He pushes to pass and goes past Matt Shorter. Exactly the same maneuver he pulled on Brad Liebenberg. But look at Brad Liebenberg pulling away at the front end due to the fact that Kruger's had to fight now with Shorter, something he wasn't really expecting. They come out of KFM corner now, pulling about 2 car lengths. They're using that additional power that comes in. And further back, it's Campos versus Hammond versus Besaidnout. That car's back on track. Simon Nee just behind them. They come back down towards G Energy corner now. Ooh, very close there between Matt Shorter and Oates, but Oates just squeezing out and getting up into 3rd place. So Justin Oates now in the Total Racing Machine up into 3rd place. That's a good drive from him. So he can keep it all together and stay ahead of Matt Shorter in the Munro car. As they come through the sweep up towards the KFM straight and towards Malmesbury. We saw a couple of incidents in the past, and probably, so tight between these guys every single time we come to Cape Town, particularly when we go through this very fast turn 4. They get up onto the back straightaway now. Everything she's got down the back straight. And good move there from Campos, diving through on Hammond. Just keeping out Hammond and Clinton Besaidnout. Need on the back end of them. Problems. Out of shape there in a big way. That was not the way you want to be finished. Is that Dhruv that's gone out there? I think it might have been, yes. Dhruv Mahiti getting it wrong. He won't be the first man to ever get it wrong there. And speaking of getting it wrong, look at this. That's huge. Simon Need in the Phototonics car, getting it out of shape down the back straight. I think he might have come across and just clipped one of the back of the cars. It may have been Hammond's car he tapped. And as he tapped it, he just went sideways and then ended up in a roll. This is Icemail's point of view. There you can see getting across. There's the tap. I think it was with Hammond. Yes, it was. And Rice Asmal stayed out of it completely. Looks across and goes, wow, I'm glad I wasn't involved in that. There's another point of view. Oh, Simon Nee just gets out of shape there. There it is, sliding across and unfortunately just clipping the drag wall and putting that car onto its roof. So red flag situation has been called. And now as they get to the restart, remember it's line astern, single file across the line. You may not overtake until you've crossed the start-finish line. Let's see if Alton Bow can maybe get through on Boosie. Boosie try and get through on Shorter. Not easy to do. It's a slightly different format to what they usually do on a restart from a safety car scenario. And across the line they go. Bow's got good drive. He tries to come on the inside and he's going to have to fend off the attentions from Machotsi. There is Swart trying to get on the inside of Matt Shorter. Shorter shuts the door. Chris Shorter behind him, doing the same thing to his stablemate there, Dario Boosie. At the front end, Jeff Kruger got a good start, trying to close down and bridge that gap that was opened up earlier on. Fortunately, with the red flag situation, he's got a chance now to retake the lead. Watch out for Campos coming from the back there, and looks like it could be a bit of a maneuver with Stian Kriel and Arnie Neveling joining Campos along for the ride. We go on board here with Jonathan Machotsi. Jonathan van der Westhuizen's just squeezed him out and has moved up one position over Machotsi. Machotsi now trying to get back at him as they come through turn 3, Rose Foundation, up towards the KFM straight. Jeff Kruger doing it all right at this point, just staying right behind the Hello Mobile car. Maybe he's got a little bit of a push to pass left. With the restart, they may be gambling a bit here. That's why I think Shorter and Oates are closing them down. The Hello Mobile car, Brad Liebenberg, the Universal K car. Oh, in the background, a big incident. A big incident in the background. Is that Jason Campos? I think it might be. Campos could be in trouble in the background there. Jason Campos being sent to the sidelines. Not quite sure what went wrong there, but Campos is definitely out of this one. Johan van der Westhuizen loses out to his Cape Town compatriot there, Dario Boosie, who dives through. He comes back at him as they get onto the main straight, and they are literally wing mirror to wing mirror. But the red flag is out. Kind of expected that with a big incident coming out of Malmesbury. We'll probably get to have a look at that now in a few minutes' time, but what a start. There you see the leftovers. Red bumper on the front end there. Looks like it might have been an incident here between Jason Campos and maybe Oates. He got a tag from behind. He ends up slamming into the wall, and Campos is not going to be happy about that. That is for sure. Here we go from Delon Thompson's point of view. Looking back. Oh, it is Oates. And Oates just literally tagged the back end of Campos and sent him flying. Here we go on board with Darren Oates. And nowhere near, he just goes straight into the back of him and sends him into the wall. Darren Oates is going to be in a bit of trouble for that one. That is for sure. Second red flag, and the race has now been called with Brad Liebenberg taking the victory. Jeff Kruger will lose out because of that red flag and get second place. That could be costly later on. Oates in third, ahead of Max Shorter and Yuri Swart, with Shorter, his brother Chris that is, in 6th, beating out Dario Boosie, Alton Bow. Good drive there from Bow, a top 8. So, Jeff, we've got a bit of work to do now. It's 2 second places behind Brad. You've lost a little bit more points. You've got to get this third and final win.
Yeah, it's really tricky, Greg. We have to do it. We got 2 second places today, which is still good for the championship, but not good enough because Brad's won both of them already. So it's not over until the last race. So, yeah, big thank you to the team for getting me this far. They've been putting in such a big effort for everyone to be up in the grid. So big thank you to them. And yeah, let's see what race 3 brings.
What an incident-packed race number 2. Simon Need on his roof. A big incident between Oates and Jason Campos that ended up with a little bit of words being shared on the side of the track. Race 3 is going to be phenomenal. There's 10 laps to come, and we'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the third and final heat of Falken Polo Cup here at Killarney International Raceway in Cape Town. Matt Shorter was quickest on the restart, so he's definitely going to be a big threat in the third and final heat. And there's a very good possibility that we're going to see the championship trophy with one hand on it. It might be Kruger's, it might be Liebenberg. Let's go and find out now with race 3 of Falken Polo Cup. Keegan Campos will be the only Campos back in the race after they could not get that car sorted out after race 2. I'm not quite sure if they got the second of the Total cars out there. We'll wait and see as they roll out now for race 3. 3-race format always changes up the dynamics here big time. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen now in this final heat of the day. Thumbs up from one of the drivers, and Arnie Neveling looking to get that to the front end again. Brad Liebenberg has got to do it once again and win. If he takes this final victory, there's literally no mathematical chance for Jeff Kruger to win the championship. But Kruger's not going to hold back now as he gets the whole shot into turn 1. Brad Liebenberg didn't get the start he wanted, that's for sure. He's under attack there from Yuri Swart as they head into turn 1. Swart round the outside will have the inside line for turn 2. Everybody trying to get through turn 1 KFM corner unscathed. There's a couple of little rubs and touches here and there. Much better start from Delon Thompson in the third of the Universal Healthcare cars, and Campos and him going side by side. In fact, Campos tucks in behind him as they come into G-Energy corner. Good start from Jonne van der Westhuizen, and he slots in behind, that is the second of the Total cars. And here we go on board now with Matt Shorter looking front and back. Shorter going on the attack with Jonne van der Westhuizen just ahead of him, looking back into the clutches there of Darren Oates by the looks of things. And then they come flying through Rice Asmal and Dhruv Mohite there, our international exchange student, getting a massive welcome to Cape Town and to Polo Cup. He wasn't expecting to be this competitive. Remember, he's come from Amio Cup, where he was the champion, and now driving in the Indian Touring Car Championship, not expecting to be as close to what we see here. And this is the kind of close action we get as we go on board with Arnie Neveling in the third of the Total Racing machines, looking straight back into the Falken Motorsport car. And wow, Mahotsi looks like he's got a chance now to have a go. But Arnie Neveling sees him coming and goes defensive into Fostron corner. Round the outside comes Matt Shorter. Shorter trying to drive on the banking to get around these cars. Not easy to do. Jason Kutsia having a baptism of fire there in the Coachworks car. He's come from karting and now stepping up into polos. There's a lot of karters that have done the same thing. Keegan Campos now on the back end and looking for a way to get through. And Clinton Besaidno's not an easy man to find a way past, that is for sure. Good little brake testing coming there as they come onto the brakes down into turn 1. Good move there from Chris Shorter, fending off the attack from behind from Arnie Neveling. Jason Kutsia diving through on Rice Asmal and on Hammond. Those three all coming from karting. Rice Asmal, of course, also one of the development drivers from the Motorsport Development Program from Volkswagen, and now having a go at it here with a local Cape Town man on his outside. Jason Kutsia, his first time out in polos, and just misses out to Rice Asmal with a little bit more experience in these polos than Jason's got. But there's a man to watch out for in the future. Running wide out of turn 2, and the G-Energy car has already gone through turn 2 and applying the pressure onto Justin Oates for third place. Oates hangs on for third. It's Yuri Swart and Dario Busi, two Cape Town boys behind Justin Oates. Justin Oates always goes well down here in Cape Town. Mahotsi now trying to get through there on the third of those Total cars as he comes flying onto the back straight. Darren Oates now. Well, that's where we had the incident, and we're on board with him as they head down the back straight, looking in the rearview mirrors, watching for overtaking. Is there going to be any done here into Cape Town corner? Late braking from Brad Liebenberg. He's in second place. Liebenberg has just lost out a little bit of ground there to Jeff Kruger, but he makes it up under braking. I wonder if he's got a couple of push to passes left. As he comes through there, looks like there's going to be a battle royal here between the two championship contenders. And Kruger's done it all right. He needs this victory. Otherwise, Brad Liebenberg could take the victory in the championship, or just put one hand on the trophy anyway. They've got one more round to go at Red Star Raceway, and now under braking, Liebenberg's got through. Liebenberg has got past and used that final push to pass to get ahead of Jeff Kruger. Ooh, look at how hard they're pushing those Falken tyres. Running wide out of KFM and managed to just bring it back in time. Top two getting away. Third place is pretty much sorted out, I'd have to say, there for Oates. Fourth place battle still to be sorted with Shorter into 4 now ahead of Yuri Swart. Then you've got Arnie Neveling. Now braking from Jonne van der Westhuizen. Looks like Jonne van der Westhuizen might have had a little tag with Mahotsi. That wing mirror is in. Speaking of tags, Campos getting together with Oates. Darren Oates this time fighting with Keegan Campos. And Keegan Campos, I don't think he's going to take it as much as what Jason did. Not to take anything away from that. There was a big incident in race number 2. And Arnie Neveling's had a big incident here. Coming out and slamming into the KFM wall down that back KFM straight. Neveling got it all out of shape there. Just put a wheel on the dirt and went flying backwards into the wall. So that has now moved a couple of positions up for a few cars, one of them being Alton Bow. Alton Bow looking for one of his best finishes ever here. That youngster's getting better and better every single time. Let's have a look at this from Darren Oates' point of view. Heading into G-Energy corner, turn 2 here. This is where the tag's going to come from Campos. He gets a little tap. Campos goes on the inside. Good catch there from Darren Oates. But he loses out to Besaidnote going through there as well. Back to the front end of the field, and it's the Hello Mobile car opening up a big margin over Jeff Kruger. Kruger's trying to close it down here in the closing stages. He has to. He's got to find a way past on Brad Liebenberg. Coming to the line, Brad Liebenberg is going to make it 3 out of 3, which means there's going to be one hand on the trophy there for him. And I don't know if Jeff Kruger's got enough time with only 2 more races left at Red Star to possibly spoil his day. Across the line, it's Liebenberg who takes the win over Jeff Kruger. In third place, in the background, you can see coming to the line, it's the Total Racing machine there of Justin Oates who takes third. This is Jonne van der Westhuizen trying to get across the line before Mahotsi gets in the slipstream. Is he going to have enough time to do it and come to the line? Oh, there is a couple of thousandths of a second there between Mahotsi and Jonne van der Westhuizen. What a dice to the line between the two of them, just behind Yuri Swart. I can't tell you who's taken that one. It might be Machotzi, but it's going to be thousandths of a second between them. Fortunately for Jeff Kruger, a disqualification for Brad Liebenberg for using his push to pass in lap number 1 sees him take the victory with Justin Oates in second. But how was that dice between Machotzi and Jona van der Westhuizen with 7 thousandths of a second between the two of them there for 6th and 7th? 7 thousandths of a second across the line. That's mind-blowing.
Absolutely, it was such an intense race from the get-go. Jona and I were pretty much door banging the whole race, man. So it was just, I'm out of breath, and yeah, I'm happy with the result.
Definitely a home track advantage for you, one of your best outings in Polo Cup, and a massive turnaround after East London.
Yes, for sure. Home ground, obviously advantage, but I think the team's done an amazing job. I think, like I said before, the smash probably did something good to the car, so it's going now. So now everybody in the team worked hard. I think we put in a lot of time, and it just worked out. It was fun. It was huge fun.
So with that small mistake from Brad Liebenberg, that has now opened this championship dramatically, as Jeff Kruger now goes into Red Star Raceway on the 26th of October with the lead of Falken Polo Cup. There's a big battle expected between the two of them to wrap this championship up, and we'll be there to bring you all the action. All this Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Falken Tires and Volkswagen Motorsport.